So let's talk about 4 myths to lucid dreaming. I put here untruths because I like to use the word myth in a positive sense, being the stories and the narratives that are larger than life. And so what are the untruths about lucid dreaming? And this is stuff that I have to sort of consistently debunk in my work, and that I've been doing for, I guess, 20 years now as I do lucid dreaming education. And the first one is that lucid dreaming is a fantasy. It's a new age fantasy. It's not really real. And the thing is, of course, that no, it's been around for a really, really long time. And in fact, mystics, philosophers, esoteric circles have been using lucid dreaming to delve into larger realities for as long as we have been human, and maybe even longer, right? Maybe even longer than we were Homo sapiens sapiens. Questions that there's not answers to. It's why I've got this picture of this Paleolithic rock art here, is that this figure, the Birdman, could be lucid dreaming. This is one of the theories that comes out of this cave drawing. And why they think that is because as the Birdman is kind of leaning back with his hands back, you've noticed that he's got a mighty erection. And one thing that we know about REM dreaming, REM sleep, and lucid dreaming is that, guess what? There is blood flow to the genitals. It comes and goes. It's a natural part of REM sleep. When we're in trance, when we are in a shamanistic trance, when we are dreaming, we often have engorged genitalia. And here it is, 30,000 years ago on a rock cave wall. I think that's interesting. Was this a lucid dream? So the second myth is that lucid dreaming isn't natural. And I hear this from different sectors of of the world. Some psychologists have argued that being lucid, knowing that you're dreaming, gets in the way of the function of dreams, and it can be even damaging. I used to hear it more from Jungians. I think Robert Wagner has done a really amazing job building bridges to show Jungian psychologists about the naturalness of lucid dreaming. But the thing is about that problem is about lucidity getting in the way of the function of dreams is that nobody really agrees what the function of dreaming is. I mean, there's really no one clear theory. And so that's a difficult one to argue, right? And then others have argued that it's not natural in the sense that it's supernatural, that it's maybe going down a dark path, that it's witchcraft. I hear this more from conservative religious communities. And, no. And in fact, Christian mystics and many other religions have used lucid dreaming for prayer and for meditation for thousands of years, right? And look at dream yoga, look at Hinduism and yoga nidra as a practice. Sleep meditation is a thing, right? And so, yeah, so it's natural, and it's been used for many purposes. And don't forget, by the way, that a lot of people go lucid dreaming spontaneously. So one of the studies that came out asking people demographically about, have you ever had a dream where you knew you were dreaming? And the respondents came out to 62%. So over half of folks have a lucid dream once in their life, right? I think that's interesting. So we're a lot more lucid in our dreams as a society than I think is really noticed. So this third untruth is that lucid dreaming is the same as controlling your dream. And this is a fine point here, because dream control is related to lucidity and it overlaps with lucidity and lucid dreaming, but it's not automatic. And sometimes you can have a lucid dream where there's not an ability to shift or manipulate much of the dream fabric. And of course, there's also dream control that happens without lucidity. And so particularly the dreams of gamers, video gamers, tend to have a lot of control dreams because they're spending a lot of their time in an immersive world where things are more malleable, and in dreaming is, enters into that, kind of paradigm. So it really depends on the aim of the dreamer about how much control are you trying to have in a lucid dream, and how much is appropriate to the task at hand, right? Like for me, dream control is not a big part of my life. I'm more interested in what the dream brings to me. Uh, but I absolutely think about dream control in the sense of controlling my own responses, making my own choices. So I like to reframe it that way, that lucid dreaming is more about choice than it is about control. And then the last myth, of course, is that lucid dreaming can't be learned. And this is not true. It absolutely can be learned. Even if you are 50 years old and you've never had a lucid dream before, you can learn the techniques and the tactics for having a lucid dream, right? And the latest research shows that having layered methods, so multiple practices simultaneously, are the most effective for going lucid. And so, but it's more than just a cognitive game, which is something that we're going to talk about more tonight. There's more to it than that.